Welcome to Skilling Minds, where we impart skill knowledge with easy to understand presentations and hands on sessions. So, whether you're a student or a corporate professional or a homemaker or an entrepreneur, adding skills helps you to increase productivity and attain proficiency. Most people delay adding new skills either due to lack of time or resources. But here at Skilling Minds, we will enable you to learn new skills at your own pace that can help you to stay ahead in today's competitive world. So let's jump straight away into today's topic and add a new skill to our portfolio with Skilling Minds. Part 5: Project Scope Management. In this part, we will be going through below given processes which make project scope management successful. These processes are plan scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create WBS, validate scope, and control scope. What is plan scope management? Plan scope management is the process of creating a scope management plan that documents how the project scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. The key benefit of this process is that it provides guidance and direction on how scope will be managed throughout the project. The scope management plan is a component of the project or program management plan that describes how the scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and verified. The development of the scope management plan and the detailing of the project scope begin with the analysis of information combined in the project charter. The project charter is used to provide the project context needed to plan the scope management processes. It provides the high-level project description and product characteristics from the project statement of work. The scope management plan is a component of the project or program management plan that describes how the scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and verified. The scope management plan is a major input into the developed project management plan process and the other scope management processes. The scope management plan can be formal or informal, broadly framed, or highly detailed based on the needs of the project. What is collect requirements? Collect requirements is the process of determining, documenting, and managing stakeholder needs and requirements to meet the project objectives. The key benefit of this process is that it provides the basis for defining and managing the project scope, including product scope. The project's success is directly influenced by active stakeholder involvement in the discovery and decomposition of needs into requirements and by the care taken in determining, documenting, and managing the requirements of the product, service, or result of a project. Requirements include conditions or capabilities that are to be met by the project or present in the product, service, or result to satisfy an agreement or other formally imposed specification. Requirements include the quantified and documented needs and expectations of the sponsor, customer, and other stakeholders. Requirements documentation describes how individual requirements meet the business need for the project. What is define scope? Define scope is the process of developing a detailed description of the project and product. The key benefit of this process is that it describes the project, service, or result boundaries by defining which of the requirements collected will be included in and excluded from the project scope. Since all of the requirements identified in collect requirements may not be included in the project, the defined scope process selects the final project requirements from the requirements documentation delivered during the collect requirements process. It then develops a detailed description of the project and product, service, or result. The preparation of a detailed project scope statement is critical to project success and builds upon the major deliverable assumptions and constraints that are documented during project initiation. The degree of level of detail to which the project scope statement defines the work that will be performed and the work that is excluded can help determine how well the project management team can control the overall project scope. What is Create WBS? Create WBS is a process of subdividing project deliverables and project work into smaller, more manageable components. The key benefit of this process is that it provides a structured vision of what has to be delivered. The work breakdown structure, or WBS, is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team to accomplish the project objectives and create the required deliverables. The WBS organizes and defines the total scope of the project and represents the work specified in the current approved project scope statement. The planned work is contained within the lowest level of WBS components, which are called work packages. A work package can be used to group the activities where work is scheduled and estimated, monitored, and controlled. In the context of the WBS, work refers to work products or deliverables that are the result of activity and not to the activity itself. Decomposition is a technique used for dividing and subdividing the project scope and project deliverables into smaller, more manageable parts. What is validate scope? Validate scope is the process of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. The key benefit of this process is that it brings objectivity to the acceptance process and increases the chance of final product, service, or result acceptance by validating each deliverable. The verified deliverables obtained from the control quality process are reviewed with the customer or sponsor to ensure that they are completed satisfactorily and have received formal acceptance of the deliverables by the customer or sponsor. In this process, the outputs obtained as a result of the planning processes in the project scope management knowledge area, such as the requirements documentation or the scope baseline, as well as the work performance data obtained from the execution processes in other knowledge areas, are the basis of performing the validation and for final acceptance. Project documents that may be updated as a result of the validated scope process include any documents that define the product or report status on product completion. What is control scope? Control scope is the process of monitoring the status of the project and product scope and managing changes to scope baselines. The key benefit of this process is that it allows the scope baseline to be maintained throughout the project. Controlling the project scope ensures all requested changes and recommend corrective or preventive actions are processed through the perform integrated change control process. Control scope is also used to manage the actual changes when they occur and is integrated with the other controlled processes. The uncontrolled expansion to product or project scope without adjustments to time, cost, and resources is referred to as scope creep. Project performance measurements are used to assess the magnitude of variation from the original scope baseline. The analysis of scope performance can result in a change request to the scope baseline or other components of the project management plan. If you like this video, then please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe Skilling Minds. Leave us a comment on which skill video would you like to watch next. Also, press the bell notification button so that you're informed as soon as we upload a new skill video. Till then, take care and bye.